Hello, everyone from different parts of the world. Welcome to Soulful Conversations with Madhuri Govindu. And I have a very, very special guest today. His name is Chandra Shekhar Mayanil. And I think he's an alchemist because spiritually, from a neuroscience perspective, he's just combining different worlds to bring the best for all of us right now. So Chandrasekhar Mainil is an educator, he's an author, he's a neuroscientist, and before retirement, he was a professor and director of the Pediatric Neurosurgery Research Program. He also held the Eleanor Clarke Research Scholar Chair in Developmental Neurobiology at Northwestern University Feinberg School of Medicine in Chicago for over 15 years, where along with his colleagues, they did some groundbreaking basic science research in the development of brain and spinal cord and in pediatric brain tumors. So not only that, he authored the first best-selling book on gratitude, which is called The Gravity of Gratitude, Yogic Neuroscience, Understanding of Gratitude. And this is available on Amazon. It deals with the gravity of gratitude that transcends being thankful and just being grateful. And he'll tell us more about what does that mean today. I'm going to paste the Amazon link below my video today so that you can go ahead and buy the book. It is a life transforming one, I must say. He also has been practicing yogasanas for more than 50 years now and a lot of deep Dhyan techniques for 25 years now. And I love his passion to scientifically decode the yogic literature and Bharatiya Adhyatmik Shastra in modern neuroscience language and modern neuroscience in Shastriya or yogic language. Yogic neuroscience is a new scientific field, and I'm so proud to present to you Chandrasekhar Mainil, who is spearheading the yogic neuroscience field with a totally fresh logical interpretation and explanation of yogasana and yogic techniques in the light of modern neuroscience. So here am I presenting an alchemist for you, and he has a YouTube channel called Yogic Realization. He also has put together 21 YouTube videos on yogic neurosciences in Sri Hanuman Chalisa, and he also has another YouTube series on Sri Bharat Charit Amrit Sindhu. And yeah,
Bharat Amrit Sindhu.
yes.
Yes, good.
Thank you. And yes, I mean, I really, it's an honor to be here with him today. Having said all of this, would love to go ahead and talk to him about the book, about gratitude. So before I jump in to the questions that I have for today, and our viewers will be very interested to know more about it. If you want to just tell us a little bit about you, and we'll jump into the questions.
Well, I'm just, I'm just, somebody asked Michael Jordan, how do you describe yourself? He said, are you a big shot or something? Michael Jordan says, I'm not a big shot, I'm a small shot which keeps shooting. So if that sums up me, and that's good enough for me, I think. I'm
Well,
just a passionate person who keeps on um, having that awe, and I would say the element of surprise in everything I try to do, and that keeps me awake all the time. So I'm just a student of life. That's all.
yes, and I want to tell the viewers I've known Chandrasekhar ji for a while now, and if I think about being humble, grounded, and humility, that's something that I learn from him all the time. I think the first sentence in itself tells us a lot about you right now. So I will jump into the book directly. Now, in your book, right, The Gravity of Gratitude, you did narrate a story in the very beginning on how and what was your first exposure to gratitude. As a child, thank you and please are most probably the first few words that parents and teachers teach us. Hey, can you say thank you? Can you say please? But thank you off late over a couple of decades living as a human being on planet Earth, it becomes a word, and sometimes I feel we lose its essence because we have used it so many times. And
Yes,
you
yes.
bring such new light to gratitude, right? So your first exposure to gratitude, can you please tell us more about it?
Yes, thank you, Madhuji. This is such an honor to be on your show. And I know you have been doing a great work with the veterans and with lot of they. After looking at your work, I just you must have seen mindset is everything. I said I changed it to my heart set is everything, and it is purely because of your work because you put in lot of heart in your own work, and that is heart set is everything, not mindset anymore. So anyway,
You.
so regarding this the story of mine and how I was introduced to the concept of gratitude, not just thank you as a cliche or as a mechanical situation, I was as a lecturer in National Institutes of Mental Health and Neurosciences in Bangalore, and in the Department of Psychopharmacology, where I was a lecturer and a teaching MD medicine psychiatry students, MD psychiatry students, the molecular mechanism of depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, and OCD, all these things, the mechanism behind this, I was to teach them. So that was my job. So although it was a great position, it was a great place to work with, but I was not happy over there, sort of. Happy in the sense I wanted to do more, but that wasn't giving me enough chance. I wanted to do lots of research, fundamental research into the science of it. Well, nonetheless, uh, I grew up in northern India in Prayagraj. So in Prayagraj, there are lots of temples, and my mother and I and my dad used to go to temples, and my with my brother and every sister also. So we used to go from almost every day, at least 5 days a week. We would go there, and my father would stand outside, and all of us would go in and come back. And we never worried whether my father went in or not.
Mm.
So basically, that time it was like we used to keep the shoes and XYZ outside. I thought my father is looking after them, and so that they don't get stolen away or anything of that nature, right? So that was the then. Then I came to Bangalore, and in Bangalore there are lots of beautiful temples. Wow, majestic temples. So my mother was so fired up about the idea of going to temples and all that. And over there we have in Bangalore there's lots of good organizations to keep the shoes and the this and that or your umbrella or very nicely. They'll give you a token and you go in the temple and you come back.
Right.
So there is no such thing as guarding the shoes there. But my father still would not go inside the temple. I was concerned that day. I said, Dad, why don't you go inside the temple? He said, Your mother has been asking me the same question for a long time. And I would just somehow brush aside the question in some way or the other. I would not answer that question. Well, since you have asked and your mom has been pestering me to answer this question, I'll let you call your mom and I'll tell both of you. So he asked her, why do you go inside the temple?
Mm.
So she said that, well, to ask God for like my face was, but that time I was unhappy in the sense I was not satisfied with what I am doing there, although it was a good thing, but I wanted to do more, so it was kind of morose face. So that she probably sensed that there's some challenge going on with the boss, and I said there's nothing of that nature, but she would always think something is not right. So I would go to pray to the Lord to make his life better, so that you don't have any problems. There should not be any untoward situation at home. For that, I have to ask the Lord, right? That's what
Mm.
he said. That is exactly the reason I don't go inside. That is exactly I am concerned whether I might get sucked into asking, because there are hundreds of people like you who are asking the Lord. And I am afraid that I might also start asking when I go inside. So when I am not done thanking for my breath, for my own breath,
Right.
I have not done thanking for that breath. So every breath only, and he started to almost tear up that time. And he said, "You, I would be the most unthankful, ungrateful person in this universe who have not been able to thank God for you, for Shekhar, for the house, for the uh, trees that here, that the good roads that in Bangalore has, or this everything so beautiful out there. I have not been able to thank the Lord for that. When I'm only not done thanking my breath yet. So when I take in the breath, inhalation, I say thank, and when I exhale, I say you. I mean, for what in one moment I can say only one thank you. In the next moment I have to thank for the another breath, and the next breath, another breath, another breath. And he started to cry. I said, Lord, please forgive me. I will be unthankful, and my mother almost prostrated in front of him. I am so sorry, she said. I have always judged you, and I did not know that this was all is happening to you. And he would be quiet about it. He would not show off that he is doing so much thankful thing. Thank you. He was every breath a thank you. So this is my initial initiation into the gratitude concept.
That is so profound, Shekhar Garu, because not a lot of souls that I have met would go into the depth of the gratitude of every moment, right? Looks like his mindset, heart set, soul set, everything was
Every set, I know you're right.
every set was
Yes,
gratitude, and he teaches us such an important lesson with that gesture that I'm scared of going into a temple because what if I ask something, right? And I've not
yes.
yet given full gratitude to what has already been bestowed to
Already been
me.
given. Right, right, right.
Oh, how profound, how profound. That brings all of us right now listening to this into a great sense of gratitude for gratitude, right? So,
Yes, yes. That is the first chapter.
yes.
So that is my entry into gratitude.
Sure, thank you for that. I also want to ask you about him again, such a great soul. And I know in our conversations in the past, you have said that he always hinted at one strong phase, which is the best gift you can give to your loved ones is a healthy you. And that is so hard hitting, right? And it's so important as well. If you can just help us and emphasize on why is it important for us to be healthy and give that as a gift to our loved ones, and more about whether he did live up to his own promise, and more about that would be
Yes,
wonderful.
yes. So I asked my mother, has dad ever fallen sick
Mm,
in your, and we were quite late kids to be
mm,
born after the marriage of like 10 years after the marriage, we were born.
right.
So it was a very long wait for us to be born in that family. So all those years, I said, I asked my mom, she said, he was never sick in my, I don't never seen him sick ever. Not even sneeze, not cold, no fever, no cough. And the best part of it is the mosquitoes won't even bite him. I tested that hypothesis. I said, let's go to one of the areas where lots of mosquitoes, and they made me almost like a second layer of skin, almost big bites all over, and and the mosquitoes will go all across him, and they will not sit on him also. So that kind of I don't know what he was oozing from his skin, whatever the biochemical he was oozing, he could not never. So the only when this particular phrase he used when I one of his friends, very close friend, very close friend, young 1 year younger to him. Um, I think back then it was I think it was um, in Prayagraj. In Prayagraj, he reminded me of that moment. He said, "Remember that." And that fellow happened to have a second heart attack, and he was rushed to the hospital. Of course, after pulmonary resuscitation and all that. He was made to cardiac thumping and pumping, and that's how he went to the hospital. He was taken there, but prognosis was not good.
Right.
Was not good.
Mm.
Doctor said his heart is 80% blocked, and I don't know whether he will survive.
Mhm.
But back then there was not much of a stent and all those things. So so he eventually died 3 days later. So I went with him, and that time he told me, Shekhar, the best gift you can give to your family is a healthy you. And he lived up to promise. My goodness, yes. He lived up to his not once I have seen my entire life. At the age of 84, he decided he has to go. He's done. I am going now. 1 week before, he told, uh, he gathered all his clothes, got to the best dry cleaners, and came back with all the thing in a auto rickshaw. He had an auto rickshaw fellow next close to our home who would drive him around wherever he wants. And he would be paid monthly salary almost type. Well, whether you take me or don't take me doesn't matter. This is your month. So then the rickshaw puller said, rickshaw wala, that auto rickshaw wala, he said, sir, where to? Where are you going with this? So he said, just like that. Then he came back with all the fresh clothes in the bag, in the suitcase. He gave all that thing to that rickshawala. He gave it all. He said, I thought you were going somewhere. By this, no, no, no. The place where I'm going, we don't require these things. 1 week before, the place where I am going, we don't require these things at all. And he knew that he is going in a week's time. He knew it. And that's it. And everything was perfectly healthy. He was laughter, like he was laugh like 1 mile away. If he was there, he would laugh there. He will hear it. Yeah. That type of laughter. Yeah, very very happy person. All the life. That's exactly what I when of course I was in Bangalore that time. So he said, I said, Dad, is that the thank you thing that you do is good is what keeps you happy all the time? I said, that's for you to find out. And at that time he said, it's for you to find out why am I not sick, why I'm not, uh, why am I all the time happy? Just that's up to you to find out scientifically. That time he had put that seed in my head.
Right.
And it took, after that, I forgot almost about this gratitude thing. And I was like, not into it, right? Almost because I'm chasing my career and I'm not interested in any of the esoteric things,
Right.
so called.
Right.
But then I found out that gratitude actually, the reason why he was not sick was because he had zero stress. He was always happy because he was giving thanks to the existence all the time.
Yes.
And now the gratitude, that is where the neuroscience and other things. And he was a yoga instructor of BKS Iyengar yoga tradition. So
Wonderful.
BKS Iyengar himself initiated him into yoga personally. So he was doing yoga at the same time he was doing this gratitude thank you protocol. As I mentioned in the book, the thank you protocol is there, where you breathe in deeply and you hold for a few seconds, and then you exhale deeply and you again hold for a few seconds. And when you're inhaling, you say thank, and when you're exhaling, you say you. So if this you do regularly, you will land up into a situation where you will have zero stress from sympathetic nervous system to parasympathetic nervous system shift that happens suddenly. Even if you're frazzled or undergoing some anxiety or panic attack, if you do this 7 times, you will get into the alignment. Your alignment will be perfect. So that is the reason I thought that this particular person, I have seen him practice this, and I have seen him having the benefits of it. Now, immune system is the first thing that gets attacked if you are stressed. Of any kind, stress of any kind,
Right.
the first target is the immune system. Once the immune system is compromised, then inflammation starts to happen. Inflammation starts to happen, and then the entire body is out of all the chemistry is busted. From the head to the toe, all your chemistry is gone. So that's why thank you, understanding a real, genuine thank you from your heart. And as you said, soulful, heartful, soulful, and mindful of everything.
Yes.
If you say with that intensity, there is no possible way that your body chemistry will not respond to it. And that is the real latest science is coming up on in that direction of
Right.
these days. So that's what I have tried to bring in that book. So, and he fulfilled the promise till the last day he was not. And that is what I carry with me. Praise the Lord, I would say. By God's grace, I do not have not one medication,
Sure.
zero medication. All the profiles are normal.
Yeah.
I don't have any health challenge. Now, after seeing my dad's positive benefits that he is seeing, I saw it myself. If I don't do the same thing, I mean, what else can I? What should the world think about me? No way.
Thank you. I just want to take a moment to thank him for gifting us this beautiful mindset that you have mentioned and such an enlightened soul, Shekharji, that he knew when he was leaving, and before he left, he offered a lifetime purpose to you.
Yes.
He did sow a seed in your head that you
I
have
know he sowed the seed
created.
in my head. He just put that in my head. He said, that's for you to find out.
Find out,
Because
right?
he thought, because he was 10th grade educated, right? He had no idea what I was doing. To be very honest. Only thing he think he was doing something with the brain stuff. And that's the end of it. After that, he didn't do anything. I said, that's for you to find out. Why should I tell you why am I healthy? I'm healthy because I'm doing this. Why am I healthy is you have to find out now.
Right, right. So I have a follow-up question here for you. For those viewers who are watching right now, and let's say somebody has diabetes or something else, some ailment that they are suffering from, even though thank you initially might not come from your heart because you all the mind is suffering and you're just starting to understand the importance of thank you, but even then if you just use the word thank you and it slowly gets imbibed in your system later,
Yes, yes.
will that still
Absolutely.
work for everyone?
It still works. It still works. So there is a phrase in English there, fake it till you make it, right?
Yes, yes.
That's what. Now the thing is, why am I saying? Why don't you need not fake it also? Why am I telling you? Just assume that you don't have a pancreas.
Hmm.
Just assume.
Hmm.
What would be happening to you?
Yeah, yeah.
Just assume that you don't have a thumb. Okay, pancreas is a too heavy thing.
Sure.
Just tie the thumb with a scotch tape, or not a scotch tape, with a duct tape. Just tie your thumb like this and start working that day.
Right.
You will miss that. I mean, the presence of this. This is you will want to. My goodness, you will know how many things you do with your thumb, and you have not been thanking that thumb yet. Same thing is close your eyes and walk. You will not be 3 steps after that, you will start to falter
Sure.
somewhere. That is the kind of a thing. You have to assume that you don't have that, and you have been given. What did you do right to get that? There are some people who have not got that. So that automatically, that genuine gratitude feeling comes to you immediately. So that's how you get. Some people ask me, I said, how do you get that juice? That the way you say gratitude, when you say thank you with that love and intensity, I don't experience that. I said, just experience one thing. You don't have one breath, just if you inhale and exhale and there's no more inhalation, what would be that state?
Right.
Just assume one time. Or just close your nose with a clip and close the mouth with your clip and just say and sit there for you will one or maximum 2 minutes you can handle. After that you will pant, you will go out of control.
Sure.
So that is the breath we have been given, gifted. What did we do to deserve that? So
Right.
once you experience that love from the existence, you have nothing but to thank.
Correct.
So that is the beauty of thank you. For that matter, let's say uh, you have some type 2 diabetes, for
Mm,
instance. Somebody has a type 2 diabetes.
mm.
How does this process help? The
Sure.
thing is, type 2 diabetes is a autoimmune challenge, which
Sure.
means immune system is making your own body beta cells which secrete insulin. This particular insulin is as if it is a foreign to that person now.
Oh,
So it attacks the insulin as if it's foreign. So it creates an insulin antibody.
right.
Number one, that is one of the mechanism. Or it has the receptor of the insulin or different types. All cells have insulin receptors in them, right? That's how insulin receptor binds. Insulin binds to the insulin receptor, and then the signaling goes, and that allows the sugar to go inside. That's the mechanism, right? Now, if a body synthesizes antibody against the insulin receptor, either two ways, either insulin antibody, autoantibodies, or insulin receptor autoantibodies are generated. So this is an inflammatory process.
Right.
This is because of inflammation, and inflammation was because of stress. So the stress has to go.
Sure.
But the thank you protocol totally gets you from, as I told you earlier, sympathetic to parasympathetic. Parasympathetic is relaxed, cool, calm, whereas the sympathetic is let's get where is that? I lost my mind. That's a kind of that the particular thing is
Right.
sympathetic, panic mode, all the time in panic attack situation. Somebody is always behind fear, panic, stress. All these things are negative emotions, right? So once you are in that negative spiral, you go directly into spiral and spiral and spiral and total destruction.
Right.
That's what it is. So when you are in thankful mode, you are always forgiving.
Mm.
Or I've seen the most people who have had this attitude of gratitude all the time, they are very forgiving people. They don't hold on to anything. They always let go. The forgiveness, the one who has the forgiveness thing going on, always lets go. And that is the thing which my dad has, like, when I saw him, that he was almost all the time happy because he was no having grudge against no one. Even if suppose by mistake he had done something wrong, he would immediately go and apologize. Say, I am sorry. That time I was bad with you over here. I shouted at you. I was not. It was unprofessional for me. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. He would go ahead and say that very upfront. Always he would say that. So let go is very easy for them. Forgiveness is very easy for them. Of course, gratitude is, and love, unconditional love is always in their heart all the time. So that's what my dad was all the time. So that auto-inflammation, and now with yogasana and all that, he can activate his this area very well. We call it Manipura Chakra, where we call in neurobiology, or in the language of science, medical science, this particular area has the best of the best of the best, which can help you take care of your diabetes and all that. This diabetes type 2 is reversible, very reversible, and I have helped people get out of it uh, so easily. It is not at all difficult.
Sure.
Even though they may have they suffered for it for a couple of years, still it is possible to reverse it back.
Sure. So, living in the present moment, having gratitude, thanking everything in this process, and also ensuring that you have unconditional love and you're positive and you let go of your baggage and negativity, that in itself can help people with diabetes.
Oh yes, oh
That's
yes, oh
that's the
yes,
beginning of it, right?
oh yes. It's very simple. See, if you change your thought pattern around, see, sometimes the people who suffer from these kind of things are self-inflicted because of little bit of ignorance on their part, and little bit society has not been very kind to them in some way or the other, So that has to, something has to change up here first. and then the rest follows.
Sure, sure. Talking about that, and again, thanking your father for helping us with these beautiful tips that we are relishing today from you, thanking the both of you. I also wanted to talk to you about happiness, Shekharji. A lot of us, we chase happiness, right? And I know you always told me that he was one soul who always used to be happy.
Always, always.
Yeah, embracing happiness, and that to me and our viewers seem very difficult right now, because after this conversation, even after listening to this podcast, if they sit down for a moment, all those concerns come out. The mind reminds you of the next problems right now, right?
You're right
So,
about that.
yes. So, even being a psychotherapist, I do face this that, okay, you know what? It's so easy to say, always be happy, or someone's always happy. But what are they doing to be happy despite of challenges that we face in day-to-day life? And we also have desires that we are attached to, right?
Yes, yes.
If I lose weight, I'll be happy. If I travel to some place, I will be happy. That if and a desire always comes in front of happiness, right? So
Hmm.
how do we, and that is a vicious, it's on the hamster wheel.
I know it's a negative spiral. It just keeps
Spiral.
going down and down and
Yes.
down, and you can't get out. It's a slippery slope. Continuously keeps taking you down there. And the best thing is you thought a straw was there, some tree root is there, and that tree root also drags along with you, and everything is falling apart. So that's what happens. So actually, what happened is this was a very genuine question in my life also.
Mm.
Uh, when I was pursuing my dream, so-called dream, pursuing a dream that time, and I used to say father was always happy and we were chilled. No, that made me upset. I said, why is he chilled? Why is he chilled so much?
Right.
What what the hell? Eh? What the hell, dad? Why is he so chilled all the time? I mean, that was my concern. So he asked me, I said, one day he asked, certainly, I said, why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you doing? Whatever you're doing, why are you doing? So that I'll get a better job, I'll do, then I'll be famous. And then what will happen? Then I'll make a lot of money. And then what will happen? And after that, I'll get a big house. And then with a good car. I said, then what will happen? He said, then I'll be happy. And then he said, why do you want to be happy? Uh-huh. That was my that he was actually why he just kept on asking till the point I cannot give him an answer. I could not give him an answer as to why I want to be happy. He said that basic whatever you're doing is essentially to get happiness, right? That is the ultimate. That
Right.
is the ultimate. That is the
Right.
final. Why do you want to be happy? His biggest question was that,
Correct.
and I could not answer that.
Right.
I said, let's derive it. He said, since you are a scientist, you like the idea of derivation, right? I
He
say,
got
yes.
you there. You're
Let-
a scientist.
I said, he got me. I said, I love that derivation thing. Let's derive it. He said, let's go out for a walk. And we have a river close by also here. So he said, where is this river going? Have you ever thought about this? He said, well, it's going south of Illinois. I said, no, the final. Oh, ocean. I say, yeah. The rivers are going to the ocean. Why are they not going to the desert? Where the desert requires this water and you're putting the fresh water into the ocean, which is salty, essentially. Why? Because that is the source it came from, right? Ocean, all the rivers go to ocean because that is the source they came from. Okay, let's talk another example. Give another example. He said, take a handful of soil and from the earth and you drop it. Where does it go? Does it go up or left, right? No, it goes back to earth. I said, why does it go back to earth? I said, because of gravity. I said, no, not because of gravity. Because that's where it came from. The soil that you picked up came from earth and that's where it goes to back again to earth. That's it. I said, then you take a candle, light it. So where does the flame go? Twist the
Upward.
candle left, right, which angle it the flame always goes up. Why? Because it is seeking the sun.
Right.
Sun is the source of all light, fire, everything. So that's a final source, right? That's he said in all the three examples, you saw one thing. Things gravitate towards the very source they came from,
Yes.
right?
Right.
With that analogy in mind, now why are you seeking happiness? Because that's the source you came from.
Correct.
You are not seeking happiness, you are the source of happiness.
Yes.
You are the Niagara Falls of happiness, the biggest reservoir of happiness. This is untapped. Like you can't tap enough of it. It is always flowing. That is what your true nature is. And what you're doing is you're looking out for outside. You're looking outside, and that too in small, small spurts. Oh, I just got a good car. Okay, you'll be happy next day. You're miserable because somebody should not dent it, somebody should not spray paint it, or do what you're stressed out for that now. See, so you make your home. There's somebody. Are you afraid that somebody falls on the pavement and he'll sue you for just because it was slippery? So you did not clean. You could not put salt in winter. So that you're afraid of also. So there is no such thing as permanent happiness outside there. It is right here. You are that. You are not happy. You are happiness. So wherever you go, you all you do is your goal of life is just to spill that everywhere. You cannot but once you appreciate this, once you appreciate this, he said, there is no other way you will not be happy all the time. Cannot but be happy because you appreciate this. Why am I seeking it? Is because that's the source I came from. Oh my goodness. Now I know where what I am. I am the that's what in Upanishad it is clearly mentioned. Thou that your true nature is Sat Chit and Ananda.
That's right.
Sat means existence. Yeah? Chit means the consciousness, and bliss is Ananda.
Anand.
Yeah. Sat Chit and Ananda. Existence, consciousness, and bliss. So, do you need somebody else's approval that to tell you that you exist? No, you know it, right? This knowledge is consciousness. This knowledge that you know is consciousness, and this expansion of this consciousness is called bliss,
Right.
right? So, once you know this, this is your Upanishad condensed in these three words, Sat Chit and Anand. That's it. Done. Once you appreciate this, no matter what you do in this world, you will always only do because you are happy now. No, it's not for the sake of. He told me in my life also. He said, when you enter into marriage or enter into a job or enter into the world, right? Do not expect zero expectation from others to give you happiness. For your juniors, for the employee that you might hire, if you are expecting them to give you happiness, you are exploiting them.
Mm.
You should never expect them. All you do is you give out your own happiness until they understand, oh my goodness, this guy is giving this all the time. Must be something special about him and he's tapped into something really big. I have to find out. He might ask you, what is it that you're doing, man? Why you are always happy like this?
Right.
Then you can tell him, not because you wanted to tell him. No, no, just it's the way it is. You spill over in happiness. Some people might spill over the happiness in doing whatever they're doing. Whatever they are doing, now your goal is to spill happiness. That's exactly why Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna said, your role is to not to worry about uh, the final fruit of result of actions. You just keep doing the action. Final fruit is what? Happiness, which is what you are. So why you are seek why you want to seek what you already are? So he said, almost like saying, I want to go to Chicago while being in Chicago. So when When you are already in Chicago, why you want to be in Chicago? I mean, you are in Chicago. I want to go to Chicago. I want to go to Chicago. Why? You are already here, man. You are already in Chicago. Why you want to go to Chicago? You're already there. So that's what it is all about. So don't worry about what. So now your action that you do will be completely bereft of uh, the kind of thinking that you carry when you are wanting to become happy. Suppose something doesn't work out, then you'll be miserable. Or some people block your happiness, that way then you'll be miserable because that fellow was an obstacle to your life. So that way you don't need to worry about any obstacle. You just continue doing your work. Things will, because you are not trying to extract anything out of the world. You're giving from you, from giving. That giving will be totally different, altogether different.
Right, right. Our viewers will always remember this, that you are already in Chicago. You don't have to do anything to go to Chicago right now. Oh, I so agree with you. And that's the reason they say that we are not human doings, we are human beings.
Yes, yes, yes,
You just have to be, and rest
yes,
everything will be auto taken care of itself,
yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Shekharji, I agree with you. Now I have a follow-up question, right? Where does purpose come into picture here? Because you wake up and do something, and I wake up and see veterans or heal others who are in a wounded state right now. Everything is tied to purpose, and we think, okay, if I wake up today and my intention is to be a very good psychotherapist and help people heal today, that is when I go to bed I'll be happy. So it's almost like your heart set that, okay, this is my intention set for this morning, right? So how can we be still happy and have desires or chase something that we want to in life, right? So tell me about that. And also, the second follow-up question that I have is, sometimes we forget that I'm in Chicago. I don't have to travel to Chicago. Give us a quick
How long
tip
it takes
to
for you to go
remember,
to
quick tip
Chicago
to
from Chicago?
remember how to be in Chicago.
Yeah. How long it takes for you to be in Chicago to go to Chicago, to go to Chicago from Chicago? You're already there.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm glad you asked this question. This was also, I was almost going to interject there, because I asked the same thing. I said, Dad, this is a tautology. I mean, your happiness. So what is the purpose of that? I said, what is the purpose? Exactly. My goodness, you stole my words. I said, what is the purpose of my life then? If I'm already happy, then what wakes me up in the morning? Because I am motivated to, okay, when I get to work, I'll work hard, I'll get a raise, and then I'll get a car. That makes me happy. You are stripping away my motivation. Right? That's exactly what I was thinking. I said, Dad, you're stripping away my motivation. All my motivation is gone now. I said, no, 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 that's not how it is. When you are already happiness and you are exuding happiness in your life, the work that comes across from you, work from you, is of uh, totally different league altogether. It is not for the sake of getting happiness, it is different. And he gave me an example, and that's written in the book. It was a beautiful example. I like that. He said there was a king, right? There was a king in whose court there was a wonderful singer whose name was Ramtanu.
Hmm.
Ramtanu was his singer's name, and he was unbelievably beautiful singer. So he said, Ramtanu, tomorrow I'm going to give you award for the best singer in the country, in my kingdom. He said, no, please don't do that. That's mistake. My guru still lives. He lives on. And before him, I am nothing. How come we don't hear him in the court? You should bring him here. Yeah, I think it's a good idea that no, but he doesn't sing for the king or court, anything. No, no, no. He doesn't sing like that. Then how do we listen to him? He said, you have to hide yourself in the normal clothes, in normal citizens' clothes, and somewhere near his home, in behind the trees, you might hide there. And if the singing happens early in the morning, that's when he sings, you might get a chance to listen to him. Otherwise, you might have to bad luck for you. Anyway, so both of them went and hid themselves behind the bushes and close to his home near a river. Uh, and singer, singer's guru started singing Sindhu Bhairavi in the morning. It's such a fantastic rag with such pathos and such depth in it. The king could not even say wah, because he was so stupefied, spellbound, listening to this guru of his. And after 3 hours of singing, he went back to his hut, and the king and this guy went back to the palace. Before going to the palace, inside the palace, he asked Ramtanu. He said, "Ramtanu, you did a great job by not giving you the award, because the award belongs to your teacher. But I have to ask you one thing. Why is it that you are not able to sing that good compared to what your teacher is singing? I mean, your teacher is singing unbelievable." He said, "I sing so because when I sing, you become so happy that you give me your necklace, you give me your bracelet, you give me one entire village. You say, okay, whatever in the village, that's all yours. You give me this, you give me lots of gifts, and then I become very happy, right? So I sing to become happy, whereas my guru is happy, and that's why he sings. He's already reveling in that juice of happiness, that bliss. He's so blissed out. Because of that, he sings. So the quality is obviously has to be totally different. I mean, that quality is unbelievable. So when you are blissed out within you, and when you go out there and work, I mean, the quality is unparalleled. Unparalleled means a quantum leap in quality. So when your quality of your work is quantum leap, do you think your boss will not be happy? Do you think your boss will not give you raise? Do you think your patients will not be happy? Do you think their patient will not refer to another people in the planet or say, my goodness, you got to go to Madhuri to get the job done? I mean, that's the place where you get healed, man. You must go there. Now, do you even have to advertise? You have a lineup now. What do you do with that? You're giving, and quality is so unbelievable. So this is what it is. So my dad said, you don't have any purpose. All you do. So he gave a very nice example. There was a screwdriver next to him. Let's say this is a screwdriver, right? So this screwdriver's head is moving round all the time. But this fellow is, the screwdriver's head should be firm, right? And so that the whole thing can move like that. But if this is moving, you can't use it, right? So this tool, a carpenter will never use if this head is moving. So what your goal is to become the best tool so that the existence uses you for its own purpose. Right. Not you don't have any purpose. All you have to do is make yourself the best tool possible. That's it. Correct. So that existence of all the tools like this existing all over the world, he will purposely pick you up. That is a chosen. When they say chosen one, why the chosen one is because that tool is so perfect in its own way, right, so that the existence can use it for its own purpose. That's the beauty of it all. So you don't have any purpose. You just all become is just the best you can think of. And so that the existence uses you. Now, if the existence is not using you for its own purpose, then there is work to be done. Yes, yes. I so fully agree with you. It reminds me of the analogy of a flute, right? A Yes,
hollow,
yes, yes,
clean
yes.
flute can be played. Otherwise, it
Yes, yes.
cannot be played. So
Very true.
I
Unless it is empty, it cannot be played.
cannot be played.
If there is some junk sitting there, the swar will not come. All right.
I agree with
Same.
you. You've already soaked our viewers today with so much of knowledge about gratitude, how we are the happiness, that I think we'll have to revisit this conversation multiple times to soak in the wisdom that you have given to us. I want to tell our viewers I have so much more to ask Shekharji right now, because we have just scratched the surface with everything that he wants to share. He was very kind and generous to share his phone number and email address with us, which is, you can definitely reach out to him on his WhatsApp. Please text him with the time zone, and he's in the US right now. So his number is 630-881-9137, and his email is smayanil, MAYANIL, @gmail.com. I'm going to put those in the YouTube link in the description, and you can always go ahead and message him or email him if you have a question. But we will have a part 2 with Shekharji, because I have so many other questions to ask. I want to take a moment to give gratitude to the Sachidananda Hanumanji Maharaj, who got us
Yes, yes.
connected,
क्या बात कह दी.
and
Wonderful, wonderful.
to Shekharji's father, who was also Sachidananda,
Yes.
and to Shekharji for bestowing the importance of gratitude to us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.